Hello ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome to Spellforce, Order of Dawn with myself, Oswald Lyric Vividar, where we're going to overgo Spellforce, the Order of Dawn campaign, over a various amount of days. Sorry if you've been watching my previous set of videos and not actually being able to see anything. It would have been nice for someone to actually let me know, otherwise I wouldn't have wasted 6 days. Anyway, getting back to the point, we're going to create a character. So this is the character creation window where I'm going to skip the dialogue because I don't need to play it because I've played it a million times. I'm going to name myself, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pick a class. Now, overgoing the classes, I will specifically go over them. So you've got light combat arts, heavy combat arts, range combat, white magic, elemental magic, mind magic and black magic. Now each different class requires a specific set of skills from down in this window and a specific set of gear. So light combat arts are piercing weapons, light bladed weapons, light blunt weapons and light armour. There are no shields. Well, you can have shields but not specifically like decent ones, if you get my drift. So moving on. Heavy combat light combat arts is specifically designed for good amounts of dexterity and agility. So you'll need high amounts of these two to perform well in the game and also promote these skills, which is a bit of a pain because you need a decent amount of dexterity because it improves the probability of striking an enemy. Agility is basically the probability of an enemy hitting you, which means you're more survivable, and that goes against any of the features. So heavy combat arts is something that I always play. It's just how I've always played the game. I love the game as heavy combat arts. It's some of the best gear in the game. Obviously the magic isn't amazingly brilliant and there are times where magic does come in handy. But to be fair, if you've got decent runes to go with the game, like there aren't really many like instances where you're going to come across that problem. So I'm going to pick heavy combat arts, and for heavy combat arts you need high amounts of strength and stamina. For range combat you will need high amounts of strength and lots of it, and dexterity. For white magic, you'll need high levels of wisdom and a good amount of intelligence. For elemental damage, you'll need high amounts of intelligence and wisdom. For mind magic, you'll need high charisma and intelligence. For black magic, it's intelligence and high amounts of wisdom. Now, going over the white magic, you'll have life, nature and boons, so you'll have things like healing spells, healing over time spells, etc, etc. You can also have things like animals and stuff like that. For elemental magic, it's basically fire, ice and earth. You can have like things where it basically surrounds you with, say, ice or fire, so if anyone comes up to you, they either get frozen or they get burnt alive. So they are pretty good. Mind magic, on the other hand, is basically almost like hypnotisation. You'll have things like enchantment, offences and defences. For black magic, it's more like it's basically death, necromancy and curse, which again is actually really good. But to be fair, I prefer playing heavy combat arts, just specifically for that reason. Because there are so many occasions where in the game you come across problems where, for instance, you'll be on your own and isolated, and unfortunately when you're on your own you're in that situation where some specific areas of the game where you can't really entail what's going to be best for you. Like some of the solo maps that are in the game, unfortunately there are so many changes in the game that unfortunately you come across problems. So I'm going to go with heavy combat arts because it's the way I've always played the game. So what you want to do is you want to throw a decent level of strength into this, and I wouldn't really worry about the dexterity for now. So just pop 15 in each, And if you're playing along with myself, I'd suggest that you play with heavy combat arts. If you don't want to, you don't want to. That's fine by me. Just remind yourself that everything I'm doing in this guide will be all about heavy combat arts.
It all began with the discovery of the All Fire and the secret of the Convocation.
But I'm not going to watch it. And what we're going to do, we're going to save it straight away as soon as we get the Greyfell, and we've done this little cutscene.
Welcome back, my friend. I know your memory is paled. 8 years is a long time. Many things have happened. The war is over, but its consequences were terrible. The Convocation has shattered the countenance of our world. Since then, But now I have a feeling of time closing in. The circle is closing, and these lands need a protector. May the power of the ruin reawaken with you. But this time, you should not be the slave of someone else's will. This rune is the scourge on which your soul was forged. Wear it now yourself, and be the master of your own decisions.
I'm free.
Master Rowan, the Orders sent me with an important message. Something's happening at the Wildland Pass. Creatures made of black steel. They are breaking into the Northlands.
The Iron Ones have come. So, it has now begun.
You must set out at once.
Indeed. I will go see Darius. You, my friend, should gather your strength first and arm yourself. Follow the messenger to the town of Greyfell. When you get there, speak to my friend Sartarius. He will give you your instructions. He belongs to the Order of Dawn. Good luck. We'll meet again when I return, Rune Warrior.
By the gods! He really called a Rune Warrior!
I can hardly remember. How do I get to that city, Greyfell?
Follow the path through the rocks. I'll go with you. But let's be careful. The mountain goblins are in an uproar.
Right, so we're going to save it here because this video is for just purely character creation. So I'm going to name this 01 Greyfell, and I'm done with it. And I'll see you in the next.